Okay, so we are back. In the last video, we talked about 10 ways to self-care in the winter when you feel like you don't have any energy and motivation, all focusing on you and ways to take care of yourself physically, emotionally, and mentally. Today, I have 10 more ways that you can care for yourself, but it's really focused outwardly on your environment and things you can do. But let's dive into it, okay? So today we're going to be talking 10 more ways to self-care in winter when you don't have any energy or motivation. So number one is to make something. So making some art or doing a craft project, while it does take energy and time to do it, you will feel a big burst of energy and motivation afterwards or while you're doing it. Painting, sewing, cooking, any type of like DIY project, just a few hours of that or 1 hour of that or just 30 minutes of doing that is so refreshing and it feels so rejuvenating. It feels so good for my creativity and my state of mind. Don't make it stressful by taking on something that's too big or that you have a really hard due date for or something like that. Just do something that's fun, just purely for fun. Number two is to read something light. No deep, thought-provoking, really mentally taxing books here. I know we've all been watching a lot of TV lately. At least it feels like I have been watching a lot more than usual. But sometimes reading can be a lot more refreshing than just like zoning out in front of the TV. So try reading a magazine or fiction. I find I can get remotivated and inspired by reading my Better Homes and Gardens magazine or Good Housekeeping magazine or the Magnolia Journal. That's a favorite of mine. It can just kind of refresh you and re-inspire you. Number three is a quick clean. Like I mentioned in the intro, your space has a huge impact on your mental health. Even when you're low on energy, having a messy, cluttered, or dirty environment can just make that worse. It's really draining. You feel bad, so your environment can quickly go downhill. But then when your environment's a mess, you feel even worse. So it can become like this negative spiral. This can be a game changer. Just cut through all of that, stop thinking you have to fix everything right now, and just set a timer for 15 minutes. Work in one spot for 15 minutes. That's all you have to do. You could work on cleaning one bathroom for 15 minutes. You could work on your kitchen, just cleaning up your counters or doing the dishes for 15 minutes. Your laundry, if that's like totally out of control, you could work on that for just 15 minutes. You can do anything for 15 minutes. And it's gonna feel so much more manageable if you do it in 15-minute chunks instead of thinking you need hours to get everything cleaned up. You'll also really be shocked with how much you can do in a very focused 15 minutes. And you'll feel so much better knowing that you're making some progress. Along that same line, number four, declutter something small. If you find that your house tends to devolve into chaos often, it could be that you have too much stuff in an area, and so it just takes a ton of energy and effort to continually organize it and manage it. That's really the best benefit of decluttering, is that you are no longer spending all of that energy and time doing maintenance and reorganizing stuff over and over and over again, because when you have it just pared down to what you actually need and want and use, then it's so much less to manage all the time. Tackle a small space that's bugging you, even if it's just your junk drawer or your nightstand. Maybe it's just one shelf. Just tackle one small space. You can even use that 15-minute timer again. You'll get such a great feeling afterwards. And that's really going to boost your confidence in being able to tackle bigger projects or declutter for longer. But you have to do enough of the short 15-minute segments to really build up your skills. It does get easier, decluttering. It really does get easier. But if you're just starting, or you're starting from a place where you're really overwhelmed, you need to start small so you can build up your muscles. Number five is schedule and have a virtual coffee date. So there are a lot of different types of rest. I could really go into that, but I think there's like 7 or 8 different types of rest, like physical rest, spiritual rest, etc. But social rest is one of them. And that is the feeling you have of connecting with someone who really gets you, who you can really be yourself with. You come away from that interaction feeling energized and uplifted. And that is social rest. Even if you can't get together with someone in person, maybe you can get together at a distance. Maybe you can both play Scrabble online together or do something like that. Or just have a virtual coffee date. I did this kind of early on in the pandemic with a couple of friends where we just hung out on Zoom together, or FaceTime. We hung out on FaceTime and just talked about whatever, and it was really, really nice. It was so encouraging and uplifting, and I felt like I had more energy and motivation and just felt so much lighter for several days afterwards. It's worth it to take the time to reach out to someone and see if they're willing to do that. Number 6 is baking. Baking is so soothing. I think it's like, it has to do with how focused you have to be while you're baking. You're following the recipe, you're putting in the exact ingredients, and it takes pretty much all of your mental focus and energy. It's really hard to be baking something, especially something you've never baked before, and be worrying about something else. And it's something I really like to do when I'm feeling creatively stuck or unmotivated. Plus, you'll get to enjoy whatever you baked afterwards, which is always a plus. Or you can share it with other people if you don't want to eat it all, but I mean, no judgment. And it smells amazing. It's a very tactile experience. So it kind of checks all the boxes for being a great self-care activity. Number 7 is get some fresh flowers or a new plant. In the winter, where everything's dead outside here, bringing some fresh life into your environment is a huge mood booster. I love buying fresh flowers for myself every once in a while. I mean, it's a $5 bouquet from the grocery store, and it brings me so much joy every day when I see it. Bringing in a fresh new plant and being able to take care of it and hopefully keep it alive. But it just brings so much life and freshness and new energy to your space. Number 8, light candles. When it's dark outside, you can kind of embrace the coziness in these darker days by going all out with your candles. Maybe invest in some that are unscented so you don't have a lot of competing smells and all of that. But lighting some candles, having that cozy glow, it can be really uplifting for your mood and make you feel really warm and just, you know, cozy. Number 9 is getting a sunlight lamp. So this is a new thing that I got for Christmas, but I've heard so many good things about these for a really long time, and my therapist actually recommended I get one, and it was not expensive at all. There's a lot of options on Amazon. I'll link this particular one, but there's, like I said, tons of options at all different price points. But it's basically a bright LED light that simulates sunlight. So you can sit in front of this light. I'll turn it on while I'm doing my journaling and stuff here in bed in the morning and soak in the rays, and it's really good if you do have seasonal affective disorder or winter blues. Number 10 is to rearrange your space. Just moving some furniture around really can shake things up for you. When I'm feeling really stuck in a rut in any area of life, I will often get the urge to move furniture around, and sometimes you just need to do it. You can even take some quick measurements if you need to, but just start moving your furniture around. I flipped our couches around this winter. I used to have 2 couches in here, and then this sectional was in the other room, but I flipped that around, and because I flipped those around, I had to move our TV and our whole dresser thing that it sits on. Each time I moved one piece of furniture, I had to move another piece of furniture. So it took a while to like get everything all switched around and reoriented, but I'm almost getting to the point where it's all done and settled in. But it's been really nice. Like, it just feels better. Any like changes like that you can do, even if it's putting up new art or something, or a really tiny home improvement project like hanging pictures on your walls or putting up curtains, they'll make you feel a lot better about your space and just boost your happiness and your sense of contentment and enjoyment of your home. So that was another 10 ways to take care of yourself this winter. Whatever you put in, you're gonna get back out. So if you can just muster up a little bit to do even some of these really small things, then it's gonna pay off in a really big way in how you feel overall. So if you missed part 1, be sure to go check that out. I would love to know in the comments down below, what are some of your go-tos for getting through these long winter months? And if you try any of these, how they worked out for you. So let me know down in the comments your tips that you would add to this list. I usually talk about decluttering and organizing here, but I feel like taking care of ourselves is a huge part of that, and it's all tied in together. And I will see you guys next time.